Hi, Padre.
Well, hey.
What are you doing?
Oh, funny you ask. I'm trying to separate some areas with some tape within our church space because I'm tired of this place being so long. Look at this. People can't even come and light candles and say their prayers.
Empty church.
Empty. And so see, I'm almost done, but I am taping off spaces so that we can start bringing people in for Mass and so that they can receive the Eucharist at the same time keeping the distance that we have been told that they need to keep between one another. But I think it's time to bring people in for Mass and give them the Eucharist.
We should probably tell them all the protocols around reopening.
Oh yeah, the protocols.
There's a lot. All
So
right.
yeah, how about we sit down and go through some of that stuff?
That sounds
Yeah?
good.
Great. All right.
What are you eating? Turned the camera on a little too soon. It's the
It's
best thing
crunch.
ever.
Cereal, so it has extra protein. You know, I'm all about the protein.
High protein chocolate milk with high protein chocolate cereal.
And raw milk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Raw milk. So did you mix the chocolate milk and the raw milk?
Because I only drink raw milk and Fairlife chocolate milk.
Because
Mm.
why
Because
not
raw
risk
milk-
listeria if you don't have to?
No, raw milk is like the most healthy thing ever, but we Americans.
Well, we
How?
just opened up an entire different can of worms.
All right, we'll talk about that in another video. But for now, well, first, please pray for our dying aloe plant.
Oh gosh, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
So do you want to just make
Yeah.
the announcement? We saw you taping up the pews in the church.
Mm-hmm.
When do masses start going live? Well, I guess they have been going live. When do people start getting to physically come to Mass?
Sunday. This Sunday. Yeah, so it's what we're gonna have. We're gonna have a 9 o'clock Mass on Sunday in English. And then 11:30 a.m. Mass in Spanish. But not just that. Because there are only, a certain number of people that we can have in the church while following the rules of social distancing, etc. Again, it's time to give the people Jesus. They have been hungering for it for so long. So after Mass, we are going to be distributing communion in the parking lot. For those of you that have children in the school, you know what a car line is and how it works. That is how we're going to be distributing communion after the 9 a.m. English Mass and after the 11:30 Spanish Mass. So I'm just very excited about this weekend. It's gonna start changing finally.
That's awesome. So I'll go through a couple of our bullet points for instructions, and
Can
then
I eat while you
can
do that?
You always eat whenever I do anything.
Okay, good.
So you can or then give your commentary. So right after this segment, we're going to show you exactly where to sign up. And we ask that you don't send out the link for your friends to sign up. We ask that you send this video. That way they see all of the instructions first. That way everything remains clear, because Father Humberto is being very generous in trying to open up the sacraments as soon as possible. So literally, once it's open, now that our Archbishop has said it'll be open this weekend, we're jumping on it, probably before a lot of other parishes. But with a parish our size, it's just going to require good compliance, flexibility, charity, magnanimity. I feel like this is the second homily already.
Every virtue possible,
Every virtue.
humility, etc. And I emphasize this virtue because not everybody will be able to be at Mass on Sunday. But it's very important for us to know that the dispensation of having to come to Mass on Sunday, it's still in place, at least till the end of the year. And so we're going to have people on Sunday Masses, but we're also going to have people during our daily Masses.
Yep. Good.
Okay.
So I guess the first one would be, what about the Mildreds and Aunt Adas of the world? Because their sign up for Mass is going to be online. But if you don't have access to online, one, you're probably not watching this video, but if you know about Mildreds and Aunt Adas out there who don't have access to the internet or don't really know how to use anything beyond a typewriter, what can they do?
Well, first of all, thank you for mentioning Aunt Ada.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to tell you, take you to Lingle, Wyoming, and show you where Aunt Ada used to live.
Ooh.
God rest her soul.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful woman. So, since they don't have access because they don't have a smartphone, they don't have internet, they don't have any of this, they can call the parish. However, only those who do not have this kind of connection can call the parish and speak to Teresa, and Teresa will go on the computer and sign up these 1, 2, or 3 people. That actually should be the maximum because everybody else nowadays has at least a smartphone.
Yes. Now, what if Aunt Ada is over 65?
Oh, very important. Anybody who is over 65 and or have any illnesses or is prone to illnesses, and it doesn't have to be just illnesses like flus and coronavirus, things like that. Any other illnesses are advised to remain at home. Because we have to remember this. Once we step out of our homes, no one can guarantee us that we will not be infected with COVID-19. It is out there and we are taking risks. Yes, we are going to have everything in place on our part so that that doesn't happen, right? So that people don't get infected. But the reality is that anybody can be infected because it is out there, so there are risks. That's why we recommend that if you're 65 or older or are prone to, be sick, and, if you have cancer, if you have respiratory problems normally, things like that, we recommend that you stay at home rather than coming to Mass. The other thing is,
Or
they can come,
exactly.
they can come in their cars and receive communion in the car line, as we will be doing that as well.
Great. I guess the last question that would commonly come up is, can I receive communion myself, and then can I bring communion home to somebody else? Is that available to me this weekend?
Yeah, that is not possible. While we are trying to be pastoral, me being the pastor of St. John's and you being my right hand helping me in this great endeavor.
I literally am on your right hand.
Ooh,
Ad Dexter and Patris.
Just like Scripture says. So, while we are trying to be very pastoral and to take care of our people, we need to avoid any possible misuse or neglect or abuse of the Eucharist, of Jesus, of the greatest treasure we have, that we have to take care of so carefully. And so we cannot, unfortunately, give you the Eucharist to take to others.
But communion to sick is on our radar just this opening weekend. We're not ready to go there yet. We'll be able to see what our options are in the future as we ease through this process. We kind of got live streaming down. Next thing is quasi live streaming, quasi live Mass, and then communion car line, and then what's the next thing? So we'll step by step. We're going to look at these things, but obviously these people would need to be trained as well, and so if that were
correct,
yeah, great. Okay. When I come to Mass, so if I sign up, and I sign up for 9 a.m. Mass, I need to arrive between 8:30 and 8:45. Why that early? We live 5 blocks away from the dreaded
Yes.
thing that wakes you up at 2 a.m.
Yeah. The train. We're talking about the train. It wakes me up like every 2 hours at night, but that's for another video, and we'll make it theological. So we need to arrive at least 15 minutes early than Mass starting, because we need to be very careful in directing people to their pews where they're going to be seated. They will have assigned seating once they sign up for Mass. And so the ushers will take them to their assigned seating. And once people are in the church, we will lock the doors. No, it's really weird, just like this whole crisis, right? To lock the door. But this is so as to keep the amount of people that we can have there with social distancing, to keep them safe, and so that no other people wander in, people that wouldn't know that they can't come into church. We don't want them to walk in and then get close to someone, and we don't want to put anybody at risk if we can avoid it. And so that's why we want everybody to be in place 15 minutes before we start Mass.
All right, we got to do some rapid fires to get through the rest of this. So, come 30 minutes to 15 minutes beforehand. We're going to close the doors 10 minutes beforehand, just so everything's in place. You're going to park on the north side of the church, not the south side, not the east side, not the west side.
Not the parking lot.
Not the parking lot, because we're going to have communion station there for driving Holy Communion. So you need to check in with the ministers that will be on the north. They'll make sure that your name is on the list. You have to pre-register. You can't just show up. We will only let those who have pre-registered. Now, when you pre-register, you register your household, your whole household, like Joshua. As for me and my house, we will receive Holy Communion this Sunday. And so you would register all those that you live with, your last name, first name, email, phone number, and then the number of people that live in your house. And then we'll designate a pew for you, depending on the space, and we've done that spacing in the church, and so we'll have that pre-assigned, but you can only get in if you're signed up ahead of time. It requires a little bit of planning ahead. But it's not just this Sunday that we're opening up, right?
Right. During the week also, weekday masses, and from now on, every Sunday as well.
Just the noon mass?
Nope. So actually, we are going to go back to 2 masses a day, and it's going to be
8:30
and
noon.
End of story.
And that'll maximize the amount of communion. So do you have to receive Holy Communion on Sunday?
No. The obligation is once a year. And it does not have to be during the Easter season. That's also another thing that was clarified for us during this time by the Archbishop. So once a year.
But if you want to come receive Holy Communion, and we especially encourage, if you have flexibility in your work schedule, in whatever family, that you leave the Sunday masses open for those who maybe the kids still go to online school, mom and dad are working through Zoom or whatever, and so if you have more flexibility, come at 8:30 Mass or noon Mass, and then receive our Lord. We'd absolutely love that. So seating will be in every. You'll see the seating that's designated in the pew, and there will be designated restrooms. Again, we're cleaning everything in between stuff, and so we're actually also going to ask people to help wipe down their areas where they sit.
Yes, we are going to have spray bottles and paper towels available for each pew, so that right at the end of Mass, everyone can wipe their area, leave the used paper towels there, and then we will get them from you. If you could help us, that would be great, so that we can accommodate for the next Mass and not have to do, the whole thing. Well, because, being the boss and bossy as I am, I would say, Father Cinderella, clean the whole thing. Okay, next point.
So we will explain in a video immediately after this how to receive Holy Communion. Are you allowed to receive Holy Communion on the tongue at this time? What's the direction that we've been given there?
Unfortunately, we cannot. Now you know how much my devotion, how great my devotion is for the Eucharist, and how much respect I encourage everyone to have for the Eucharist, because it is not just a piece of bread, it's Jesus, truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity. However, at this point, and because of the circumstances, we are only allowed to receive Jesus on the hand. Left hand on top, right hand on bottom, and then we will show you in a minute how to receive him and how to consume him.
Great. And then I think the last detail for Carline will be immediately following the Sunday Mass, right? It'll essentially be Father will give the final blessing, and then bam, at that point it's like shotgun, run to your cars, and hopefully we'll have a sign-up mechanism available for that so that not everyone arrives at like 10:15 and then we have a whole trail. So just stay tuned with details on that. But then you'll come in on the
Emory.
City Hall side, so Emory. So the side that's on the library, the side that's City Hall, that's the only side you can come in for the car line. That way cars are not trying to cut in front of each other. That way we're just keeping things safe. You'll loop around the entirety of the parking lot. School families, you've been doing this for years. Everybody else, just follow the flow of traffic. We'll have people available, and you'll go around, and then they'll pull into the part that's like the basketball court / AstroTurf. And what are they going to look for, Father?
They are going to look for 2 tents, hopefully 2 baldaquinos if the other one gets here by Friday. If not, 2 tents, and that's where they're going to park in that area. There's space for 6 cars at a time. They get out of their cars. The people from 3 of the cars go to whoever is on their side, you or me, and the people of the other 3 cars will go to the other side, and that way we'll make it a little faster. However, if they have to wait in their cars for a while, I mean, they have air conditioning, or they can open the windows. You won't be very uncomfortable. So if you have to wait a while, please wait, joyfully, and just pray. I mean, you're about to receive Jesus, and I know some of you have been just longing for this, and we so appreciate this.
And it's Mother's Day. So praying the rosary would be a perfect way as a family to honor our Blessed Mother.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a great idea. How about we do that? If you have prayed the rosary by the time you come to receive communion, or if you're going to pray it later in the house or whatever, do pray mysteries of the Holy Rosary while you are waiting for communion. Great idea, Father.
Now, we've had a lot of people that come up to us and like, Father, I need you. And we're like, oh gosh, okay, what do you need? And then all of a sudden they like give us an envelope.
Oh, yes. So as to avoid touching a lot of things, what we're going to have is we're going to have someone holding, whether it is a basket or the envelope where we need to keep the collection safe and then throw them into the safe. Someone is going to be there holding something that will be very clear to you. If you bring your offertory, you can deposit it in there from your car. So,
but even before we were asking, we've had people coming to the church just saying, where can I leave a check? How can I help? And we've just been really edified by the people who are trying to really support the parish as we're trying to support you. And so for those of you who are not giving online or anything like that, you're most welcome to bring a check or bring a cash donation of anything like that. But it's not necessary to receive Holy Communion, not necessary to attend Mass. The gifts of the Lord are free. They're freely given, and those who freely give to the work of the church, they too are blessed by the Lord. Any other big thing to...
Yeah, try, for those of you that will sign up for Mass, try, if you can, to use the restroom before you come to church, so as to, not to have to use the restroom if you can avoid it. Again, we're just trying to keep you safe. The restrooms will be available in the church, just the one that is in the back, not the ones in the foyer, because again, the doors are going to be locked. That's going to be available, but again, we can't be sanitizing the whole thing every time someone goes in. We just don't have that kind of personnel. We're going to try to keep the masses, kind of short, not too long. But if you can, please try to use the restroom before you come to Mass. But again, the restrooms will be available if you need to.
Penultimate thing, this Sunday's Mass is going to be offered for
Mother's Day.
novena.
Did someone, well, if did everyone get, you think, the message, the link?
Yes, but we're reiterating right now. And it's
Okay.
on the main website.
Oh, great.
So you
yes.
can go to johnthebaptist.org/Mother's Day Novena with dashes in between those two spaces. Or check out, we've been emailing them out. We'll have one last email that's going to be on this email that got you to the video that you're watching right now. If you would like to include your mother in the Mother's Day Novena, you're most welcome to do that. And we'll say a series of 9 masses for the repose of soul if they're deceased, or for health and blessedness and well-being.
We usually do the novena ending on Mother's Day, but we thought we weren't going to do it because, how do we get involved with
Global
people,
pandemic
etc.
messes everything up.
I know. But thankfully we got creative, and we're going to start the novena on Mother's Day and then continue doing the masses after Mother's Day. So there's no reason to not celebrate our moms, our beautiful moms.
Great. So let's show them how to receive Holy Communion, and then we'll give the last detail on how to actually sign up for Mass. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the parts that is very important, and we will keep repeating this, is the distance, right, between one person and the next. And that's all the way from when we come into church until we leave. And when we receive communion, that is still the case. Look, we're going to mark the floor with signs like this, crosses. So before I advance, I want to make sure that the person in front of me is gone from that space, that next cross, which you will see in a second. Do you see it? Okay, see, the distance between Father and I is 6 feet, or even a little more. We're going to make sure that we keep the distance so that we do not come into closer contact with one another.
Great. So when it's time to receive Holy Communion, they're wearing their masks.
Yes, and we will do that. Would you please grab, there are some hosts there that are consecrated, and then
The body of Christ.
Amen.
Okay, now that we know how to receive Holy Communion with the masks and safely and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, isn't it funny that after we did all that, we come back and we're like at the same place, in the same position. It's
Video
awesome.
editing.
We're so good.
Where do you go? You go to johnthebaptist.org/reopening. That's johnthebaptist.org/reopening, or ask your 5th grade spelling bee champion in your home. And once you go to johnthebaptist.org/reopening, that link is not going to be available on the main page because you need to have watched this instructional video to see all the protocol that's in place so we can do this safely, orderly, reverently, and well. But once you go to johnthebaptist.org/reopening, you will be able to sign your household up to attend Mass either on Sunday. You'll be able to attend, you'll be able to sign up for, I believe, sometime in the next 10 or 14 days, depending on the settings that we have. Now, can I just sign up for like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Because, Father, I haven't received Holy Communion in forever. And so I just need to like sign up for everything and just have a whole bunch of Eucharist.
No, I think it would be unfair to other people that would want to come to Mass also. And just because I am a lot more savvy when it comes to signing up, when it comes to technology, I just shouldn't do that. Just like, if you fast for a day, you don't go and eat 5 meals in one sitting, right? So let's let Jesus be recognized as filling our souls completely with one Eucharist, even if with one host, even if it's once every 2 weeks or in the midst of the pandemic. Doing this out of charity for others will bring a lot of fruit in our lives in addition to receiving the Eucharist.
So for the time being, just right now, we would ask that you would only sign up for Mass sometime in the next week, and then give it some time, and then you'll be able to see. The system will not let you have more people than we can actually accommodate. And then once you check in through the north doors, we'll tell you where you and your household will be seated, and then we'll do that process. But if you'd only sign up for Mass no more than once every 10 days in the beginning, if we do need to change this because we have more availability or the system's more stressed, we literally don't know. This is the first time we've done, Catholicism, St. John the Baptist, and global pandemic all together.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to accommodate as many people because we've gotten so many messages of those who've missed the Eucharist, those who've taken advantage of the Adoration Chapel, and who have increased their longing, their thirst to receive Holy Communion. And so now that we're reopening it, we have to do it well and also have availability for other people.
That's the other thing. I can receive communion once a week, and then I can sign up if I'm not signed up to be a regular adorer. I can sign up, get a key, and come to adoration every single week.
And you sign up at longmont.weadorehim.com to get a key for adoration.
Absolutely.
Any last closing remarks?
Yeah, I am very excited to have my people back. It's been really weird to celebrate Mass for a camera, and I just want to see their faces again.
It's like the opposite of Moses. Instead of let my people go, it's let my people
let
come.
my people come. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we love you, and we probably don't tell you every day. We do love you, and we want to have you back with us. So please sign up, and let's follow all the proper protocols so that we can do it safely and holily.
Oh yes, one last thing. That eagerness to see each other again, that eagerness to be reunited, right?
We can't forget that. So let me preface that before you say it. We cannot come back to church and come back and do exactly the same thing we were doing before. We need to come back and step it up a notch. Go ahead.
So, chit chat before and after Mass. What we're going to ask of our people is that while we are in the sanctuary, that we remain totally reverently silent. Now, if your kid drops something on the ground or starts crying, are you allowed to talk to your kid? Absolutely, right? We're not trying to be impractical, but we're trying to have the silence serve the atmosphere of prayer that's supposed to be in the main church. We are a really tight-knit community. We love seeing each other. The place to chit-chat, catch up, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long, how's little Timmy doing, whatever, that should be outside, 6 feet away with your masks on, and not in the church. Because when everything returns back to the new normal, whatever that's going to look like, we want to maintain the church.
The reverence.
Sacred silence in the church before and after Mass.
We are signing up people as households because we love families. We love individuals when they don't have a family, but we love families when they have a family, and we love children in Mass. But one thing that I've been wanting to tell people, and I keep forgetting, is this. If you need to bring your baby or your toddler a toy when you bring them to church, please let it not be Hot Wheels or one of those toys that every time it falls on the pew is going to make a lot of noise. Bring a soft teddy bear or something like that that's soft, that's not going to make noise, so that the rest of the people don't get distracted and they can enjoy Mass and be reverent at it. Please. I
Awesome.
think that's it.
Thank you guys. We love you a
you.
lot.
We'll see you soon.
Ciao.